What would it be like to wake up to a home that is more peaceful? Instead of the first thing on your mind as you bat open your eyelashes is all of the stuff that you have to take care of. Believe it or not, implementing the 10 habits that I'm about to give you into your daily routine will make it possible for you to have the tidy home of your dreams. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Bren. I'm so happy you're here. I share weekly videos on simple and minimalist living, decluttering and organizing, creating a cozy home, and ways to live your best life. If you love these topics as much as I do, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to set all of your notifications so you'll never miss a video. I think oftentimes we think once we've decluttered, we are done. We don't have to ever revisit it again. But that is a huge mistake. One of the best habits that you can implement on my list, if you don't do any others, is this one: declutter consistently. The very first thing that you need to do is have an area that you keep your decluttered items in. That's just the perfect opportunity to take that item and put it in your declutter pile. Don't put it back in the drawer, because that's what we do oftentimes, right? We tell ourselves we'll just get to it later, but don't do that. As soon as you identify an item that you no longer need or want or use, make sure you put it in your declutter spot. And if you are on your decluttering journey still, where you have a lot that you're going through, you can have bins, boxes, bags, whatever, for your declutter spots all over your home. You can have one in your bathroom, one in your bedroom, one by your front door, one in your kitchen. And that way, every time you're in that room, you're just making it easy on yourself to take that item and throw it in there. Once you fill that bag, box, or bin up, that's when you move it onto your car, and the next time you're out, take it to the donation center. But don't forget to put a new bag, box, or bin in its place so that you can continue on this process. Because believe me, these things will add up. When you set your mind to decluttering consistently, you are going to be amazed with your progress. I know it's little bits and pieces and it might not seem like a lot, but over a length of time, like a week or a month, you are going to see a difference. I guarantee it. Another habit that has absolutely helped me, and I know it will help you, is being present where you are at this season in your life. Being present is one of the best habits that you can implement in your life, not just for your stuff, but overall for your mental health. I had to deal with the loss of my dad a couple of years ago, and that's when I made this sign back here, to be present. Because I was thinking in the past, what could I do? Could I change anything? What if I had done this or that? Would he still be here? And then also I was thinking about the future. What am I going to do without him, right? You can see where I'm going with this. But we also have things in our lives that we keep around from our past life. Maybe it's from our childhood when we had happy times. Maybe we keep things around that we inherited that we don't actually need. And these things are all taking up space in our homes. So what I want you to do is I want you to consider, where are you right now? I'm all about keeping a memory bin. I think it's great to have a small container of things that we have from our past that bring us fond and happy memories. So I'm not talking about this when I talk about being present in our season of life. But what I am talking about is a mass accumulation of things that we are no longer using, that serve no purpose at all. Because when you have all of these things, nothing is important. So what I'd like you to do is implement the habit of being present. And when you come across an item that is from your past that you're no longer using, or one of those items that you think, well, I might need this in the future, I want you to highly consider parting ways with those. A little channel update. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be posting a new video every Monday and Thursday. I'm giving it a shot for the next 3 months. Fingers crossed. Did you ever hear of the 2-minute rule? Well, that is a habit that you can implement today, and it will make a difference by tomorrow. Basically, all the 2-minute rule is you make a deal with yourself. If you have a task that you can complete in under 2 minutes, you have to do it right then and there. You do not put it off. And I'll give you an example. One of the biggest things that was piling up in my home on my counter was unopened mail. I would go to the mailbox, I'd get it, and I'd set it down. Now what I do is I go to the mailbox and I go right over to my trash can and my recycle bin. And if I have to pay a bill, I actually go and get my card out right then and there and pay it. Those things really only do take 2 minutes or less, I'm not kidding you. I would have never thought it, but it's true. Going to the recycle bin, tossing out that junk mail, opening up an envelope, pulling out a bill and paying it right then and there, those are all things that you can do in less than 2 minutes. Let me know in the comments if you tried this and what tasks that you've surprised yourself on that you can complete in 2 minutes or less. Simplifying your laundry routine is one of the best habits that you can get into that will make your home stay tidy. You might have heard this saying, we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time, and 80% of the clothes 20% of the time. I would eliminate a lot of the clothes that are not in the 80% category because those are creating clutter visually, and that weighs on our mind. We'll stand in our closet and we'll look in there and say, well, what do I have to wear? I can't find anything to wear. Who wants to start out your day trying to decide what to wear? I want you to go through your clothes like there's no tomorrow. I want you to get rid of and part ways with anything that is high maintenance. Get rid of those things that you have to iron because that will create a pile. After you've done your laundry, you have over here a pile of things that have to get ironed. And who wants to pull their iron out? So it just sits there, and it might sit there for a month or two. And that is just visual clutter, right? That is not going to create a tidy home. So what we want to do is get rid of those high maintenance items. And then I want you to go through and identify the things that don't make you feel confident. If it doesn't make you feel good, if it's too small or too big, it doesn't fit you, part ways with those things. If they have holes in them or they're stained up, get rid of those too. No longer will you stand there at your closet door and say, what am I going to wear today? You will know every single thing in your wardrobe is going to be something that you feel good in, that you feel confident in, and that uplifts you. And as a byproduct, you're going to have a more peaceful and tidy home. One of the major things that we can do to create a tidy home is to not bring things into our home, right? That's easier said than done. But I'm going to give you a habit right now that can change that for good. No longer will you mindlessly keep bringing things into your home that you don't need. And that is the habit of creating a wish list. And that means that if you have a thought that comes to your mind, or maybe you're scrolling on Amazon or one of your favorite stores online, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I need this. I have to have it, right? So instead of pressing that complete purchase button, instead you leave it in your cart and you do not buy it. And instead you put it on your wish list. Now I keep mine on my phone, but you could have a little notepad if you want. You can keep it in your handbag or your backpack or even your car or wherever it is that you are oftentimes subjected to the possibility of purchasing things. Stop pressing that complete purchase button because that is definitely making your home not tidy. Half the time, something that I put on my wish list never comes to fruition. And do you know why? Because I'm an emotional person who makes emotional purchases. So since I've identified that I am an emotional shopper, implementing the habit of having this wish list into my daily routine has made all of the difference for me. I just love this habit so much. This is the 1 in, 1 out rule. And basically all it is every time you bring one thing into your home, you have to let one thing out of your home. And I'll give you a little example. I was at IKEA the other day. I saw that they had chip clips, and I remembered, geez, every time I go to use my chip clips, they're not clipping right anymore. So I came home, I got my new chip clips out, and instead of just tossing them in my drawer with all my old chip clips, I didn't do that. I went ahead and pulled out all the old ones and decluttered those. That way my home is tidy. That way my drawer is not going to be discombobulated with the old stuff and the new. Sort of visualize here my drawer where I only have one tiny compartment to donate to my chip clips. If I were to just dump all of them in and I didn't get rid of the old ones, first of all, every time I go in there, I'd have to kind of go through it and see which one is new, which one is old. That's a pain in the butt, right? You don't want to have to do that. Getting into that habit of getting rid of one item when you bring a new item into your home is going to create a tidy home for you. And if you're really ambitious, you don't need to stop at getting rid of one item. You can actually get rid of 5 items or 10 items each time you bring a new item into your home. Let me know in the comments if you have implemented this habit and if it has changed how your home looks and functions and created a more tidy home for you as well. This might seem silly to you guys. I have a dishwasher, yet I don't use it. For whatever reason, we did not get in the habit of doing our dishes in the dishwasher. So every evening, we make sure that we wash our dishes, we dry them, and we put them away. And you know what that daily habit of processing my dishes from beginning to end actually does? It creates a great morning the next day. When I get up, the first thing that I don't see when I enter my kitchen is a pile of dishes that needs to get put away. So I can do other things like make a healthy breakfast or go to the gym and exercise. I don't have to take time first thing in my day to put dishes away. That's just one example. I'm sure that you can think of others that you can implement. One habit that has not only made my home tidy, but has also saved me so much time and money has been creating a list of 6 meals each week that I want to cook that week. Now that doesn't mean that on Monday I'm having spaghetti and Tuesday I'm having tacos. I don't do it like that. These are strictly options that I give myself. But what I do before I head out to the store is this habit. I go through my cabinets and my fridge to see what I actually have in stock, because there's nothing like getting to the store and thinking you need something and not buying it and you do, or vice versa, you buy it and you already had it at home, because that is definitely going to create clutter. Especially when it comes to perishable items. Let's say you have green peppers already at home, but you didn't realize it and you're buying more. Well, in all likelihood, those green peppers you already have are shoved into the back of the fridge to spoil, and then we toss it out. The whole reason I developed this habit for myself is because I was definitely one of those people that was tossing out food every single week, and it was making me feel so bad. First of all, I spent good money on it, and second of all, it's just a waste, and I didn't want to be part of the statistic crowd of food wasters. Believe me, this happens. If you live in America, we waste so much food. But being intentional about what we need when we go to the grocery store by thinking ahead, making a list, checking our cabinets, checking our fridge is actually going to save so much time and money. Do you know I have 6 meals per week instead of 7? Well, 1 day a week we always have takeout. It's just a nice thing that I could look forward to. I have a little bit of a break. It also helps me to know that I have that one night a week that I can have takeout if I need to. If we're really busy and we need to have takeout, I have some flexibility. Buying only the ingredients that you need is going to make for a tidy kitchen, believe me. One habit that keeps my home tidy day after day is the habit of touching things once. If I have an orange, for instance, I don't just leave the peel on the counter or on a table. I pick it up and I put it in the trash can. Now, if you left it, on the other hand, it's just something that you have to come back to later, right? You can also use this example when you're coming home from work and you just lay your coat on the couch instead of taking it and putting it on the coat rack or hanging it up in the coat closet. When you go to get ready in the morning and you're pulling things out of the cabinet drawer, make sure that after you use your makeup brushes or your makeup or your conditioners for your hair, put those back. Don't leave them on the bathroom counter. So touching things once instead of leaving it and having to go back and deal with it later will definitely make your home more tidy. The touch it once habit can be used from the beginning of your day until the end of your day. You don't leave anything out. You don't leave anything on the counter. You just go ahead and process everything right when you touch it. You touch it once and you never have to think about it again. Make sure that you try this habit. I think it's going to help you keep a tidy home. You don't hear about this one too much. It's called the 5-7 rule. And since I implemented it several years ago, it has made my counters and my flat surfaces cleaner than they have ever been. Basically, how it goes is you only keep things on your flat surfaces that you are going to use 5 days out of 7. So let's say you're a coffee drinker, for instance. Of course, you're going to keep your coffee pot or your coffee maker out on your counter. That's just something you use constantly. Another example that you might want to keep on your counter is your utensil jar. For me personally, I am constantly using this thing. And if I had to go into a cabinet or a drawer to get my utensils out and shuffle around in there for them, that really would not be as efficient or functional for me personally. When you're ready to cook dinner, for instance, you don't want to have to go in your kitchen, push things out of the way, shuffle them over here, move them over that way. Having all that stuff on your counter can just make you want to avoid your kitchen altogether, right? I personally want to put my money toward traveling and other things. I don't want all of my money to go to takeout. And if I have a bunch of clutter on my kitchen counters, that's exactly what I do. And I don't want to be that way. I want to be the type of person that goes in and makes a nice healthy meal for my family. Go through your home, check out all your flat surfaces, and keep only the things on your counters and flat surfaces that you use 5 days out of 7. These habits I shared with you today will help you have a tidy home, but they're not the only habits out there. If any of you watching has a habit of your own that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments. I'm sure it will help all of us as well. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every week.